We're going to be discussing pin curls this morning. And the first thing we want to do is talk about the equipment we're going to use with them, because there are several different kinds, but State Board has its specifics that it likes. They like the single prong clip. It's very lightweight. You don't place it across much of the curl so you don't wind up with an indentation. There's also the double prong clip. You can see it's twice as big and got two prongs, but it leaves a lot of indentation on your pin curl. And anchoring is an important part of forming pin curls. If they're not anchored correctly, you get things that you don't want or don't need. We're going to use gel to do our pin curls with, and again we just apply in the area that we're going to be working, because it has a tendency to dry out and get sticky, as you know already from working with it. Let's see if I can get her to turn around a little bit. And we're going to start out by learning the parts of a pin curl. We have the base, the stem, and the circle. And sometimes the way we do our pin curls, we wind up with no stem. And when we use a no stem, we get more curl than we do with a full stem. And I'm going to show you what that means. Let's see if I can get her to move around a little bit. Alright, we want to section off a section for pin curls. We can do that with shapings. Y'all remember shapings? We can use the C shaping. Or we can just do it in lines like brick lay. And that is the easier to do. I'll have to get her to turn around. And we just do a part. So we're going to put pin curls right here in this section. And this one we come up with our square base, rectangular base, triangular base. And according to what we want the pin curl to do is what type base we use. For even construction on pin curls, we would use a square base. We would take a row of square bases and roll the pin curls all to the face. The next row we would roll away, and when we brushed it out it would look like we had finger waved the head. So they can be used for waves. They can be constructed to make curls. So it's according to how we place them. The base has nothing to do with how they turn out. Okay? It doesn't matter if they're sitting on a triangular base. The only time the base would play a big part is if we used a rectangular base. And that would be it like this. And we usually use a rectangular base with a full stem. So let's talk about the parts of our pin curl. The base is this section that's connected to the head. The stem comes from the base to where our first arc begins to form in the pin curl. So right here would be our stem. Stems have directions. This stem is going in reverse because the stem is pointing to the back of the head. The curl is forward. And I've got my curl already. This is my base. This is my stem. This is my circle. And you always attach from the open side of your circle. And you can see that opens. You attach from the open side, and your clip always goes in the same direction that your stem does. So I'm going to attach right there. I never place it across my curl, and I'll hold that up so you can see a little better. I never place my clip across my curl. That's wrong. That would leave me an indentation all over. I get a little bit of the circle and usually a little bit of the base. With the rectangular base, that's hard, but I want to make sure whatever direction my stem points in, my pin curl clip points in that direction. When we'd brush that out, we'd have a flat area there. That's what a rectangular base does, is give us a flat area in the comb out. We can also do the triangular base, and triangular base is just what it sounds like. It is shaped like a triangle. Triangular bases are usually used when we use stand-up pin curls. That was a flat pin curl I did a while ago. This is a stand-up. A stand-up pin curl is used when we want volume or bounce. And we simply roll our pin curl and attach it. This time we catch some of the base and some of the circle, and we put our clip where we're not going. You know, if I done like this, then I'm right here where I'm going next. So we want our clip to be where we're not going or where we have already been. So that's forming our pin curls. That has no stem because I roll my stem up into my curl. You can see I got the base and then I've got a circle. So that's what we're talking about with no stem, half stem, and full stem. So we have a base, stem, circle. The base is stationary. The stem is the section of the pin curl between the base and the circle itself is explanatory. When we have no stem, then that means we've rolled it all up into a curl. It gives us the tightest curl because we don't have anything left there. A while ago when we done the rectangular curl, we had a full stem and we had a lot more movement. Let's go back to it and talk about what mobility or movement is. When we have mobility or movement, we combed it straight back a while ago, or reverse. The stem was in reverse. And we could move that anywhere. We had a lot of movement because we've got all that stem. But if we go back to this and form our curl, we don't have any movement. That pin curl's not going to move anywhere. Even when we comb it out, it's not going to move because we've rolled the stem up. So that's why we leave full stem sometime, is so we can have some movement, or they want their hair to bounce around as they walk. Full stem will often be used when we've got hair yay length and just put a little curl in the bottom of it. And that way when we brush it out, it will swing and sway. We know what shapings are. That is simply molding the hair in a direction in formation of pin curls. But in case we forgot, we'll do another one. Here's our shaping. And when we brush the hair out, that shaping's going to be left there. And if we're placing pin curls in a shaping, then we're going to go to the open side, and it's like a C, and we can see that the back side of a C is closed, so the back side of this is closed, and we start putting our pin curls in the open area. We slice out a little bit, we ribbon the hair to make it smooth, and then we roll the hair up into a pin curl. And again, we attach it the same way with our clip going in the direction of the stem. And if we have problems with ends wanting to stick out, we simply put a little bit of gel on them and kind of glue them down. And that's what we're talking about with putting it into a shaping. We only put them in a shaping if we want that shaping as part of our final comb out. So you have to be real careful with that. Then we have our open and closed center curls. This is an open center curl. It gives a looser curl. A closed center curl would be when we would go right on, tighten it up, and have no opening in the center. And again, we're going to have to put a little, we close it up. So closed center makes a tighter curl. Open center gives us a little looseness in the curl. Our curl and stem direction, we talked about our stem direction a while ago was in reverse. Our curl direction was forward. So they do not have to be the same thing. So don't get confused when we talk about the curl direction being one thing. A lot of people think if the stem goes in one direction, the curl's got to go in one direction. This stem is going where? Up. Where did the curl go? It's actually going down or to the side. So think about them as entirely two different things, not as one thing. And that does determine what our style is going to do when we comb it out, according to which direction. Whatever direction we put the curl and stem in, that's the way it's going to want to be. Triangular bases are often used for with stand-up curls and to avoid splits in the front style. We also have an arc base that I haven't discussed. And an arc base is when you come up like this, and it's somewhat of a shaping. And you put it in because we'd want this swirl effect on top. Usually the arc base is used right along the back where we want to do a French twist, so we go up and arc it and put the pin curl there using a lot of stem to it. We use full stem ones. Now, we've done finger waves. We need to learn to do ridge curls and skip waves. And this is simply where we take a finger wave shaping. Y'all remember them? We comb them back. We put our finger wave in. We have our ridge there. And in order to do a ridge curl, we put pin curls right up to the ridge. So we slice out a little bit, form our pin curl, put it right to the ridge of that pin curl. That is a ridge curl. And again, we go in from the open end and we follow the direction of the stem. We do that until we've got a whole row. And in order to make skip waves, we do that again. Form our ridge, put our pin curls. So skip waves are the plural of ridge curls. And ridge curls are called that because they're put right at the ridge of your finger wave. Our stand-up curls that we done a while ago are often called Cascade curls. Our flat curls like this are called sculptured curls because we sculpt them from an area of the head.